Welcome back to Saskatoon and the 2003 BMO Financial Group Canadian Championships. And here are the pair standings after the short program from last night. Worth noting that 8 of the top 10 pairs skating out of Ontario, the other 2 from Quebec, including the favorites right now, Langlois and Archetto, a pairs team that has finished on the podium at the Nationals the last 2 years running, and of course they're looking to finish on top this year. And they'll also be looking to carry on the tradition of strong Canadian pairs teams. This country has produced some real innovators in this sport's history, and it dates all the way back to the 1940s with the likes of Suzanne Morrow and Wally Distelmeyer, who invented the death spiral that's become so common today. Then in the 50s, 2-time world champions Francis Defoe and Norris Bowden initiated overhead lifts and really pushed the sport to a higher level athletically. And then in the 60s, how about Debbie Wilkes and partner Guy Revelle? They did the first double twist. And the innovations certainly did not stop there. For the pairs teams here at the 2003 Canadians, Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler were the team they watched, and their innovative lifts wowed the crowd. They also brought back the difficult triple lateral twist as well as the forward outside death spiral. And then along came Jamie Salé and David Pelche, the team that perfected this interesting entry to the death spiral. And their lifts also pushed the technical envelope, especially this one performed at the very end of a 4.5-minute long program. And it didn't end with the Olympic champs. How about Jacinth Riviera and Lenny Faustino, who invented this unique lift, made more difficult by the fact that Lenny lifts jazz with his left hand.
Watch Lenny's feet, too.
And finally, you have Annabelle Langlois and Patrice Archetto, a death spiral with a difference. This special entry adds them to the list of Canadian pairs innovators. As you can see, a strong tradition there, and as you can see, those are the leaders heading into tonight. For more on what you'll see in the pairs free skate competition this evening, here's Rod Black and Debbie Wilkes.
Hall of Famer Debbie Wilkes, Canadian champion in 1963 and 64. What were you, like 4 years old at the time?
Child prodigy.
But I want to ask you about that, becoming a national champion. You can talk about all your moves and your tricks and the innovation, and there are some tricksters out here. But what might be the difference tonight is what comes right down in there, the butterflies.
Oh, yeah, it's been a hard road this week. We've seen some tremendous skating in practice, and that's what gives me great optimism for the future. Putting it out there is something else.
And it's going to be very difficult. Unless the Wurtzes come from behind and stage a great comeback, there will be a new national champion. What was it like when you won your Canadian championship? How did that change your career, change your life?
It was a split decision, I can tell you that. But it certainly gave me everything that I have to be thankful for today. Skating has become a huge part of my life, and I'm proud to be here. And
one of these pairs teams out here tonight are going to lay claim to this year's championship. Putnam and Wurtz. Of course, that's Sean Wurtz, the nephew of Chris and Christy, who skate right behind. The Riviera and Faustino, silver medalist last year. Marku and Bunton, a new team together. Of course, Valerie Marku skated with Bruno Marcotte last year. And then the favorites and leaders, Langlois and Archetto, to skate last. So we have some drama in here tonight. And we have the song We Are Family circulated through the building because the Wurtzes are back. And that was Paul Wurtz, the coach of Sean, and partner Elizabeth Putnam. And this is also a new team, but a team that's doing very well and may shake things up here and could make it to the podium and in fact beat Uncle and Aunt.
It's entirely possible. They have been two skaters who have been brilliant in practice. Even the practices have been followed by a fair number of fans. And with every move from this young couple, you could hear the oohs and the ahs audible in the rink.
Elizabeth is from Vancouver. She's 18. Sean Wurtz is from Marathon, Ontario. They train at the Toronto Cricket Club. And they have a shot at the podium here.
Hear them digging into the ice on their stroking, getting speed for the first element. Double twist.
Remarkable, Debbie, how far this team has come in a very short time.
It's that magic gelling we were talking about yesterday. Teams now training at the Toronto Cricket Club. We're testing with many different partners throughout the summer. With a double toe. Liz drooping the left hip on the landing for a not so perfect exit. Beautiful technique in the turns by Sean. Turning easily, 1 foot to the other.
Coming up.
Look at the line.
Wow.
That's the heart you were talking about. They got a little bit of the showbiz in them too, I'm thinking.
Well, we've seen it before at the Nationals. The arrival of great young teams. And these two could be stars.
They were made for each other.
With that skate, they could go to the World Championships. Do you know that?
You're right.
And no one at the beginning of the week might have thought that. Out of nowhere.
I'd heard some buzz. I'd heard that these bodies were just made for each other. The molding together of those two quite distinct styles. Now remember, she's also competing in junior ladies, finished that event earlier today and won a medal. This is a portion of that program.
She finished third, got the bronze medal earlier today, skated clean. So what a fabulous Friday for Elizabeth Putnam. Megan Duhamel was the gold medalist. We will have the junior championships on TSN on February 22nd at 1 o'clock Eastern. But how about this?
They've certainly got the tricks. Now they need to work on the connecting steps. This program was pretty much, despite the incredible music, one trick after the other. They were awesome tricks, mind you. The wow factor, absolutely amazing. They just could not take a wrong step. Very cautious, setting up, but very patient, waiting for that perfect timing. This, the throw triple loop. She even got slightly tilted in the air. And because the rotation was completed so early, she was able to correct her balance, and such a beautiful element here as well. The throw triple sow cow, enough time there by the rotation being complete to do a quad. Now this is the stuff, the spread eagles. This is the quality of this pair that sets them apart. There is style, there is personality, there is character in that skating.
And there is the set of marks for technical merit. Strong single skaters, like we're going to keep hearing Sally and Pelche references, but remember, Jamie and David were both single skaters. So too were these two. They might not win the national championship, but I have a feeling they could be on the podium here. We are back live in Saskatchewan Place. Final moments warm-up. And that is Chris Wurtz, who looks like he just hurt himself in warm-up with his partner, his wife, Christy.
Hard to say what happened. It didn't appear to be anything particularly major at the time, but he is favoring his right shoulder, which makes me think it's that old shoulder injury from several years ago. Now they are slated first to skate.
This is as much success as this team has had.
Our next competitors represent
two-time national champions. They have had so much bad luck at national championships, from injuries to sicknesses
to fire alarms. Now they have 2 minutes from the time their name is called to report to center ice.
I think he just said that he can't lift right now. And of course they have lifts included in their program.
Discussing it with Chris's brother and coach Paul.
Again, the uncles of Sean Wurtz, who just skated brilliantly with his partner Elizabeth Putnam.
Coming to report to the referee by the looks of things.
They may not skate. And that's it. They're not going to. They will not skate. And so
Chris,
their comeback after a year away is derailed.
No matter how significant, no matter how thorough a skater's preparation is, there is always the unexpected to deal with. Emotionally wrought.
They did not skate last year. They were having a baby. Little Brianna's in the crowd. Going to take a look at the warm-up and what happened that caused this withdrawal.
Now suddenly the story becomes the next team, Jacinthe Riviera and Lenny Faustino, who suddenly must surge ahead.
And right there, Chris came over, and might be something in his rotator cuff and his shoulder area. Dave Randorf will report in a few moments, and we will come back to Saskatoon. You're watching the BMO Financial Group Canadian Championships on CTV.
Welcome back to Saskatoon as you watch the next pair getting set to warm up. Rod and Debbie, I can tell you that Chris Wurtz, who is normally a very upbeat guy and very upfront, he's gone into the men's dressing room and he's dealing with two kinds of pain right now. The pain in his right shoulder. It's unclear whether or not he heard it in the warm-up or whether or not this was something that was bothering him all week. I'll find that out. But the other kind of pain is the emotional pain of obviously feeling as though he's let down his partner and what is apparently going to be their final appearance at a Nationals. This is not the way this great pair wanted to go out. I'll get more information as soon as I can.
So now that means that Jacinthe Riviera and Lenny Faustino in second place after the short program move up, and their preparation is kind of thrown off here a little bit. This has happened, and this does happen at events of this ilk. Remember 1991 in Saskatoon, Christine Huff and Doug Ledre right in front of us had a terrible fall, and they still were able to skate. The Wurtzes are unable to skate.
In a case where the team is able to come back, they are given the option by the referee to skate at the end of the competition. Jazz and Lenny now forced to speed up their preparation. The adrenaline just jumps, but they're ready, and they've trained for this. Their most difficult element, the one at the very beginning, triple toe, entering from a curve. Very close. Touchdown by Jazz with her hand falling forward in the upper part of her body. Jazz and Lenny, that's their forte. Program by choreographer David Wilson, this one with a vampire theme, subtle steps, beautiful connection. triple thou. As the program gets closer to wrapping up, it's 4.5 minutes. It's harder and harder for the skaters to keep the energy, and particularly to perform the difficult carry lift at the end. Beautiful musical interpretation with music that sometimes seems very gentle, could almost die, but they refuse to let it.
Hoping that they can make it back to the World Championship. Second place last year. Went to the Olympics and the Worlds. The Riviera and Faustino did have some errors, however. And of course, were forced to skate about 8 minutes earlier than they had anticipated. And let's join Dave Randorf.
I'm with Chris and Christy Wurtz. Chris, they both kind of gathered themselves, needed a moment there, and understandably so. Why don't you let us know what happened out there, Chris?
I have no idea. I'm going to go see the doctor now. My shoulder just popped, and I've had a shoulder problem before, but I didn't expect that to happen now.
And you could see the emotion with both of you when you had to withdraw. This is obviously not what you fought for to come back to this stage after a year off, Christy.
No, it wasn't, but, I mean, we're happy with ourselves. We skated great all week, and, you know, that's all we can do is be happy and have fun with the rest of our life.
I'm glad she thinks so. I'm pissed off.
Well, it's one of those things I've got to ask you, is this it? Do you see yourselves getting back into this position again in training?
I don't know. I think that's a sign, definitely. I mean, we'll talk about it, but enough's enough. Somebody's trying to tell me something, but, I mean, we were destined to have I thought we were here to have a great week, and Debbie, all our friends at CTV and TSN have been like, oh my God, look at you guys, you're awesome, and we were ready for it. I just didn't see this is live, right?
Yeah.
Crap happening. Yeah. Try to keep a sense of humor.
Well, you've always got that. I know the doctor's waiting right to our right to attend to your right shoulder. We'll let you get to that. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thanks, Canada.
Well, emotional. And as always,
Tells it like it is.
tells it like it is.
Well, it was tough on Chris and Christy to have to withdraw, but also tough on Lenny and Jazz to have to step up. There were some problems, too. Although not really serious ones in the side-by-side. Jazz did touch down. It was a problem throughout, however, with the individual jumps, but the lifts always spectacular. This is one of their originals. It goes up so fast. Lenny is so comfortable and confident in his rotation. The control and balance that this kind of lift exhibits is extraordinary.
Now, they'll have some deductions, but, you know, also probably rewarded in some areas for their degree of difficulty, and the technical merit marks reflect that. Low marks 5.2, high mark 5.6, several 5.5s. Presentation marks are better, and they are the leaders unanimously. First place ordinals across the board, ahead of Putnam and Wurtz,
who now have a good possibility of moving up into medal position.
Our next competitors represent...
And a lot will depend on this team and what they do. Valerie Marku, who last year skated with Bruno Marcotte and got a chance to go to the Worlds, but now has teamed up with Craig Bunton. Valerie is from the Ottawa-Gatineau area. Craig is from Kelowna. They got together a few months ago, and in September won an international event, the Nebelhorn, after only 2 months together. They currently reside in third place after the short program.
And they've upped the ante with the program recently by including a triple twist. It'll be their first element. it for a double. Preparation. Each skater knows with every minute ticking away to the call of their name what position, what degree of preparation they must be in.
Oh my goodness. Now to try to get it back on the rails.
Well, I have a feeling that Kristen Christie's withdrawal has really upset everybody, and then Valerie comes back with that beautiful throw. Taking the slow part to calm themselves. As the program continues. Of elements in this program. The throw triple cow in the last 30 seconds of the program. Brave and daring.
What a terrific way to bounce back. Shaky start. Very strong finish.
Skaters will talk to each other during the performance, particularly in a crisis. One of these two young people said to the other one, "Come on, let's go for it. This is our chance. Don't downgrade now."
Tell you what, about 3 minutes ago, they looked lost. Still were able to battle back. Valerie Marku and Craig Bunton looking for the podium at the National Championships. And one team to come, looking for their first national title. The leaders after the short program are next. Marku and Bunton and the men in black. What a night it's been for the Wurtz coaching fraternity. Sean and Elizabeth skating well to Christy and Chris pulling out, and these two having to really fight.
Look at this lift. It went up beautifully into the cartwheel. We're going to stop it right where they start to fumble. The changeover into the platter seems fine, but right here, you'll see the hands just completely lost each other. That could have been a much nastier fall, actually.
And you know what? He was so into the ice.
There was a point during that lift when, in the complicated hand changes, Valerie got slightly behind Craig in terms of the rotation on the circle. That's danger.
This is going to really factor into the podium. Again, Langlois and Archetto are next. Providing they stay in the top 3, this could decide the bronze medal. And these marks are not good enough right now to beat Putnam and Wurtz, their clubmates. So the young team, the new team, actually they're both new teams, but Putnam and Wurtz are currently in second. Riviera and Faustino lead. Marku and Bunton are third with one team to come. And it's a 5-4 split between Putnam and Wurtz and Marku and Bunton.
Well, it's up to this team.
Yeah, this is their time. They have been in the shadows the last few years of Saleh and Pelche. Bronze medalists in Canada the last 2 years. Serious momentum coming in here. They have been the talk of the Canadian pairs world this season.
They made a huge decision to change coaches, moving out to the west to Alberta with Jan Olmark. Program's a tear grabber too. Starting with the throw triple Salchow. Watch the timing.
Oh my.
Quite the competitors, these two. Fall like that on the throw can cause the legs to completely evaporate underneath you. Next, triple toes. Got her triple toe. I believe Patrice's was only a double. Triple, a Salchow.
Another double. They're really going to have to fight now, or they're going to be looking up at first place. Triple toe. Usually Annabelle and Patrice skate completely absorbed with each other. Tonight, they just look worried.
all week has simply evaporated. They're tight, shoulders are up.
They wanted to win this national title this year so badly, but it's not going to happen.
Well, they certainly made all the right decisions leading into the Nationals.
Unless the judges see it another way, Riviera and Faustino outskated them. No one skated well.
Except for Sean and Liv.
And they were early and they were too far out.
Oh, it's never easy.
No, it isn't. Sean Wurtz looks like he could be podium bound and will be with Elizabeth Putnam. These two could be Canadian champions. What will the judges say? It is now a case of adding up mistakes. Now, also, the second mark will mean a lot. Riviera and Faustino, they both.
There were problems everywhere.
Yeah.
Both have beautiful programs. There were very strong parts in each team's case. I think the best lift was that triple twist. Started out very beautiful, very confident. Here, Annabelle has been having trouble with the triple toes, but tonight it was Patrice's turn. Certainly that's what makes pair skating so interesting. How do you get both partners on the same page at the same time?
Jazz and Lenny also had their share of mistakes.
Well, the tough part was on the throws for this team. The triple toe just did not come out with any degree of confidence.
Remember, a year ago, they did have a chance. The Olympic spot was hanging, and they just barely made it.
Squeaked in.
They did not rise up at the time, and it doesn't look like they will get it this time. Again, it depends on these two sets of marks coming up for Langlois and Archetto. Technical merit marks much lower than Riviera and Faustino.
Well, you got to say that if anybody could choose the right time to land the triple toes, Jazz and Lenny found it.
And the triple toes are the barometer.
Now,
that's what
Jazz did touch down with her hand, but it was generally speaking a clean jump with a very minor error. And there you go, you're right.
There it is. Langlois and Archetto are second place. Silver medalists this year, a chance skating last to win the national title, and they failed to deliver.
They're stunned.
Riviera and Faustino also not perfect, but they are the Canadian champions. And Elizabeth Putnam, what a day. 2 bronze medals, a junior singles bronze medal earlier today, and now
it's not Friday the 13th, is it?
A bronze medal in pairs. They've only been together a short time, and you may have seen the face of the future of pair skating in Putnam and Wurtz here tonight. Riviera and Faustino are the new Canadian pairs champions on a strange night of pairs skating here in Saskatoon, wasn't it?
Yep, very odd.
And we talked about it earlier, and maybe the biggest battle wasn't between the teams, but with the nerves. Here's Dave.
With the new Canadian pairs champion, this was a big story coming into these nationals. Who was going to take that mantle and then hopefully run with it for a few years? And for now, it's you. How does that feel, Jazz?
It feels amazing. I mean, we're Canadian champion. It's like, I never thought I'd be here when I was young. And, you know, it's always good to be third, second, but like Canadian champion, you can't explain how good it feels. And, I mean, we had some mistakes in our program, but we kept going with a lot of passion, and that's probably why we're champion right now.
Well, and also, people can't forget that you had to come out on the ice sooner than you thought you had to, and then that's not easy under these circumstances, is it, Lenny?
Those Canadians had no easy circumstances. A new champion was going to be crowned. We had an unfortunate withdrawal before us. I mean, you could have thrown something else onto that pile, and I think Jazz and I would have had the same heads to compete the way we competed tonight and pulled off the program we did too.
Well, you did pull it off. You're the champs. Congratulations, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the Worlds.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
2 teams will go to Washington in March. Riviera, Faustino, and Langlois and Archetto Everybody's talking about Putnam and Wurtz tonight as well. The third place team at the BMO Financial Group Champ.
Welcome back to Saskatoon, where maybe one of the biggest stories is these two, Elizabeth Putnam and Sean Wurtz. Congratulations, especially you, Elizabeth. What a day you've had.
Yeah, it's been a long day, but it was successful, so I'm really happy.
Quickly, your thoughts, Sean?
I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited. Never expected this coming here. We just came. We've been skating 6 months together now. So we just wanted to come here top 5, and then this happens. We're ecstatic. This is amazing.
Your uncle Chris told me you're a pair skater, and it looks like he was right. Congratulations, guys. And with that, that wraps up our evening here at Saskatoon at Sask Place. A very eventful night in the pairs competition with the new Canadian champions, the Riviera and Faustino. Tomorrow night, the women's and the men's free skate. Be sure to join us on CTV. On behalf of our entire crew, this is Dave Randorf saying so long from Saskatoon. We'll see you tomorrow night.